Well, Jonesy, congratulations on a successful takeover of Warlocks Tower.
Thanks, boss.
But I can't help but worry that this isn't over yet.
Forget about it. If anything happens, my clonesies will take care of it.
So, do we just start the podcast?
Yeah.
That's the way you usually go about this, right?
Pretty
All right, we're good. Welcome, fellow interneters, to the WarPod podcasting show. We've got a variety of subjects to discuss tonight. What would you like to start with, Jonathan? Okay. For our first task, we shall discuss why graphics determine the overall quality of a game. We talk about how $600 is too little to pay for the privilege of owning an Oculus Rift. And we'll talk about our game of the year, Game of War.
Not so fast, Edge of Blade!
Zach! Johnny! What are you doing here?
You want I should do him in, boss?
Your clonesies were no big deal. You're not gonna be any different, you son of a bitch!
You better call off your dog, Edge. You do not want to provoke us. We're here to take back the show.
Don't make me laugh, Dim. Why would I give the show back to you?
Because if you don't, we'll have to share some interesting personal information we recently acquired about you.
I'm a corporate sellout. I have no pride.
Then you won't mind us telling America about your Mega Man/Doctor Who erotic fan fiction.
Hey, you have no right to spread misinformation like that. That's Zach
Jonesy. That's... Adult curiosity and an active imagination are nothing to be ashamed of.
Oh, then you won't mind us telling America about Wednesday nights.
What happens on Wednesday nights?
Well, Jones, there's a sleazy bar down by the ship channel.
Alright, now that's it. Cut the feed.
And that takes care of that, America. I'm Zach Nanimus.
I'm Johnny Down.
Tonight on the WarPod.
Hey, guys. Hey, Edge again. And, I'm really sorry. I really feel bad about how that all ended.
Yeah.
So I've got something for you guys. I just wanted to wish you guys a happy 100th episode. Here's a cake for you guys. I wanted to say I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You know
I'm
what?
really sorry.
Edge, that's okay. Why don't you sit down?
Oh.
Why don't you sit down and join us on our 100th episode extravaganza? Thank you very much, Edge. That was delicious and a very nice gesture. I think we can safely say that Warlocks forgives you and absolves you and Terry completely.
Thank you very much. But I still have one question. How did you find all my secrets?
Care to field that one, ladies?
Hey, Edge!
You! Why did you betray me?
You really don't know why? Time, Edge. You forgot about the time.
Time? What time?
Well, when we gave you the cash to buy out Warlocks, you promised that we would be able to spend more time with Johnny and Zach.
And now things are worse than ever. We haven't seen them in 5 weeks. They're busy reformatting the show.
Yeah, like late night rehearsals,
Making props.
bathing Jonesy.
But I just wanted to make a good podcast.
Make the WarPod good? That's impossible.
Yeah. Goodbye, everybody.
Well, you can't win them all, buddy. I'm sorry. But hey, since we're all friends again, why don't you stop by the WarPod later on?
Sounds great.
All right. And next up, we're going to be continuing with our 100th anniversary episode extravaganza! Now, tonight, because it is the 100th episode, we want to do something,
100th episode.
because it is the 100th episode, we did want to do something really special. We wanted to invite the people who have been with us on our journey, coming in as guest hosts, interview appearances and stuff like that. Just all the people that have come together to really make the WarPod great. And we invited them to actually call a Google hotline where you can get your own telephone number through Google?
Yeah,
Voice.
pretty much. It's a
Google
Google Voice setup with just voicemail, and we collected messages from anyone who wanted to send well wishes to the WarPod.
So this first one
We
is...
got none at all.
That's true. This first one is from my mom.
Right?
She says, "Good job," and there is a roast in the microwave. No, okay. The first
I'm not
one.
sure she knows how to roast.
Yeah. This first one is actually from our good friend Johnny Hackenslash.
All right, and here we go.
What up, WarPod? It's your good old friend Johnny Hackenslash. Just wishing you badass people a very happy 100th episode. I'm glad you made it this far. Glad it's still going on and kicking ass. And hopefully you guys are drinking a beer, celebrating, and just all smiles right now. I'm out of things to say because I'm watching Justice League. So I'll hit you guys up later. I'm gonna go watch Superman kick somebody's butt. Love you guys.
We failed you, Johnny.
Wait, we have beer?
I got beer.
Oh yeah, but we were drinking.
Johnny, what are you drinking?
Oh, God damn it. Ah!
Do not put another Mountain Dew. We're gonna get sued.
No more Mountain Dew. We've been warned.
Who's our next 100th episode message from?
Holy shit.
Hey, this is Christian Simpson from Star Wars Episode 1, Episode 3, and most recently Episode 7, calling to wish the WarPod a very happy 100th episode. That's a century. You guys didn't look old enough to have started in 1916, but hey, I guess the numbers don't lie. I love everything you guys do, and I really enjoyed chatting with you alongside my colleague Nalini Krishan, and I hope to do so again sometime, maybe when episode 8 or 9 comes out, or maybe 10, 11, or 12. And be sure to follow me on Facebook.com/Christian J. Simpson and Twitter.com/CJ Simpson. And once again, a very, very happy birthday. 100. That's almost as many episodes as Gavin Sykes took flights in his Naboo N1 fighter. And he's still alive, as far as we know.
What?
Keep calm and carry on, guys. Well done.
There were some audio issues there, but what he was saying was he was talking about his character in episode 1 and how many times he's taken flight.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Christian. Always a pleasure to have you on. Who's next?
Well, let's see.
Hey, it's Jesus from the Space City Nerd, along with Rex and Sean.
Hey,
guys. Hey, so I'm so glad we kicked you guys off the network. I couldn't stand you guys anymore. I don't know how you made it to 100. Jeez. Man. Sean, you got anything to say?
We were going to toss you some pity bitcoins, but we changed our minds.
Rex?
I'm glad you're on video now so I can minimize the window. Something. I stole your joke, Sean.
Oh. But in all seriousness, congratulations, joining the 100 club. We're already heading to 200, so,
we're twice as long as you guys.
No, we're not.
Make sure to leave us a pittance at the statue at 200.
What?
You're all drunk.
Oh, man, but yeah, congratulations again, guys.
Hey, thanks a bunch, guys.
I'll take this one. Hey,
Okay.
Space City Nerd, fuck you.
No, I like those guys. I like having them on the show.
No, I was kidding. He actually warned me that he took a roast approach, which is fine. That's great.
And my mom's got a roast in the microwave.
The roast is the theme of this episode, evidently.
Who's next?
This is James Dyslexis of Project Armageddon from Houston, Texas. Wanted to say congratulations on your 100th episode.
No, that is the Doomstress.
I told you it was the Doomstress.
It is the Doomstress.
Yeah.
Yeah, from Project Armageddon. She's awesome.
She is. And if you haven't checked out Project Armageddon, never forget to check out links below. Thanks again, lady.
Absolutely.
All right, next up.
Hey, WarPod. This is Carrie from the Metal Geeks podcast and MSR cast. Congratulations on 100 episodes. I am almost there myself for Metal Geeks. It is a milestone. Keep on podcasting and keep it funny. Yeah.
Carrie,
Awesome.
Didn't Metal Geek start like 30 years ago?
He has 2 podcasts. I've explained this to you. MSR cast has been going on for 10 years.
Okay.
Metal Geeks is almost at 100 episodes.
Well, either way, thanks for sending us the message. We love you. We need to have him on the show soon.
We should.
Since we're, isn't he like one of the founding casts of the network? The
Houston Nerdcasting Collective.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely. We need to do more. We are going to do more of that this year with the Nerdcasting
We've been
Club.
planning a big meetup that falls through every time
Yeah.
for about a year and a half now.
Right.
So
Right, and that's mostly my fault. But we are going to do a new project with Houston Nerdcasting Collective, where we're actually going to do the Houston Nerdcasting Collective Question of the Week, and all the podcast and the network will be asked the same question, and they'll answer it on air.
I don't feel like participating.
Well, I will.
Okay.
Anyway, I want to thank you to I want to send a thank you to all the people that left us a message. All of you guys were awesome. I love to hear from Christian Simpson, and then the Space City Nerd, all those guys, Johnny Hack and Slash, awesome people.
But wait, we have a special video message from our buddies up north, Guys, Games, and Beer. G2B, take it away! Rob, you were so close to not showing off your accent, but you knuckled really hard right there in the last bit. Thank you so much, guys. Those really are the sweetest guys. If you don't know, this was 2 years ago now.
Like a year and a half.
About a year and a half ago. They actually invited us up to the Midwest Gaming Classic, and as you know, at the time, both Johnny and I were still studying. And they actually put us up for the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Like we found a airfare out there, but they're just really sweet guys. Go check out their stuff. Of course, there's going to be links below for everybody. Don't forget to check out G2.
Oh shit! Hold on.
What?
I think we got this one looks like it was long distance. There's another thing here.
Wait, further than Wisconsin?
Yeah.
All right, so just...
Hello, This is Russian President Vladimir Putin calling to wish WarPod podcasting show a pleasant 100th episode. In Russia, we are big fans of video games. With winter as long as it is in Russia, we spend much time indoors playing with ourselves. Especially Tetris. You should have Let's Play of original Tetris on the Electronica 60. Remember, long piece always goes in hole. 2 long pieces touching end to end would be a very, very bad thing in Russia. You should not expose children to that kind of decadent gameplay. We're big fans of the first-person shooter. However, in Russia, we do not play Capture the Flag. Instead of Flag, which freezes solid in Siberian blizzard, we play Capture the Crane. It is like bird, but with long stick-like legs for carrying like flag. I am very good at this game. Maybe you should not play against me. You will not be able to capture me, Ukraine, but I will capture Ukraine. Again, congratulations, and may WarPod lead a glorious socialist media revolution in podcasting entertainment for many generations to come.
I would just like to say that President Putin's views on Tetris do not reflect those of the WarPod. And that was about 40 seconds and like 10,000 miles for a dad joke.
I know. He I'm just gonna drink some more.
You should.
Okay. I guess
might make it funny.
Thanks for checking out the show.
I'm glad we have fans on the other side of the planet.
Yeah. No, that's a real thing. Like the 4th most visits to our website are from the Ukraine and Russia.
Really?
Yeah. So that explains it now.
Bizarre.
Yeah.
Are there particular subreddits that we could be tapping?
We probably should. Well, there's that.
Okay, but how long do they actually watch this stuff? Is that analytic known?
No. Actually, I can look that up on YouTube. They actually have that breaking down. I just haven't looked at it.
Okay.
The Siberian subreddit, like Frozen DTF.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Either way, there was one special thing that we did. We actually did last night that we wanted to share with you all, and it was a special interview that we did just for the 100th episode with a very good friend of the show, very good friend of Christian Simpson,
Jedi.
Yes, and Jedi Master Barasafi. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our 100th episode interview with Nalini Krishnan. Hi, Nalini.
Hi, how are you guys?
Really good. Thanks for coming for our big anniversary special.
Yeah, we turned 100 today. Is that how that works?
100?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. This is our
You
100th.
sound so young.
Well, that is actually from daily helium whippets that we do.
Okay. Well, you'll have to give me some of that.
Yeah, well, yeah, kids don't do drugs. Right?
The U.S.
Yeah, don't do drugs. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
So, what's been going on with you?
Oh my goodness, what has been going on with me? Oh, I'd like to think that there's been a lot going on with me, but I could just simply say nothing. No, really, that's not true at all. Well, we're starting a new year, and last year was quite crazy. Lots of Star Wars conventions, meeting lots of fans, in light of the new movie and The Force Awakens. And this year is really about getting down and dirty and working on some projects. I've got a horror film that I'll be shooting in April, May.
Ooh.
Can't say too much more about it.
Hero, victim, or monster? Can you at least answer that?
Okay, well, put it this way. I'm a nurse that turns into a zombie.
Nice.
So you're all three.
All three, yeah.
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 You're victim, hero, zombie.
Yeah. Nurse, hero, zombie, monster, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. So that's all I can say. And that's what's on the cards at the moment, and possibly I've got a couple of conventions coming up in Los Angeles, a Hollywood show, and another one that's coming up at the end of March. But that's it for the first half of the year at this stage.
Okay.
Are you coming down to Texas for the con season at all?
I would love to come down to Texas for a show. I haven't been in touch with anyone down there, but if anyone would like to get in touch with me to invite me, would love to attend. I love Texas.
Yeah, we can make that. No, we can't. We should make promises we can't keep.
We can talk to somebody.
But we can promise to try.
We
please.
We can promise to think about trying.
Yeah, we can absolutely do.
Well, that's good enough for me.
I remember when we last spoke, which was, I believe was it Comic Palooza or was it one of the other ones?
We were at Houston. What was the MegaCon? Was it MegaCon?
No, it was.
Was it Space City Comic Con or Comic Palooza or was it?
I think it was Space City.
Space City. I think it was Space City.
Yeah, at Houston.
We go to all of them, so they all run together to us. You were either right in the middle of, were about to, or had just moved across the world, correct?
Yes, I had moved earlier in the year. I mean, I had been going back and forth, but I made that decision to just move here and be permanently based here rather than in Australia going back and forth. And that was last year, early in the year. And I've been here over a year now, actually. So, yeah, I can't believe how quick it flies.
Right.
Was it the wildlife that drove you from the Australian continent?
As much as many people have a misconception of the fact that snakes come out and scare you in the middle of the night and kangaroos, jump alongside you when you're driving down the freeway, it's not anything like the alligators that you see in Florida that go into people's houses and eat children and dogs and things like that. It's really not that at all. No, it wasn't the wildlife. It was because I'd won the green card. I'm an actor. This was a place to be. I'm also an entrepreneur. There was opportunities here for me to be able to explore the entrepreneurial side of what I've wanted to do all my life. And so I moved. And I needed a change. And, what's the better way to change than to pick yourself up, move to another country with new people, new culture, and not really know anybody and start afresh. And that's what I wanted to do. I'm a bit of a nomad like.
Well, if you were looking for the polar opposite for a big change, I would have suggested maybe North Korea.
That's pretty close.
No, that's...
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I don't know if they would have let me in, though,
So how is California treating you?
California is, I think, a city that how should I say? it can really do many things to you, and it's about whether you're strong enough to be able to overcome the things that you think it can actually do to you. So, if you're not organized, if you don't have enough money, if you don't know how to hustle, if you aren't willing to make sacrifices, then it's very difficult to live here. But I think if you've got that determination, that drive, if you've got the guts of being able to come in here and not let anything faze you, it can actually be a great city to live in, because it's a potential for entrepreneurs. It's like an entrepreneur's world because of the potential of what you can do business-wise here. It's the central for actors. It's Hollywood's here. It's the bestest weather ever. I mean, I went out in the cold. I went to Europe recently in London, and it was so cold there. I just wanted to be back in the warmth of the LA sun.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to say, it's treating me quite well, and you really don't appreciate it until you've lived here for a bit. Then you've gone out, then you realize it really is your home. So I'm quite comfortable now.
Yeah, and I would say that just personal experience. I know exactly what you're talking about. My wife has family in California, in Southern California, and I'm very jealous of the weather over there. I'll just say that.
Anyone can move here, but look, I love Texas. I want a second home in Texas. The people in Texas, you can't replace them with. People are, probably the most valuable things in any city that you go to, because it's the people that you surround yourself that make your experience what it is. And
She just called you a thing, Johnny.
Yeah, that's cool.
I didn't mean it like that, but like Texans, you can't replace a Texan. You can't find a Texan here. I mean, you can find them, but it's not the same sort of culture. I mean, that sort of southern hospitality and kindness, and everyone's so friendly and wants to stop and have a chat. You don't get that in Los Angeles. So, you guys, I think, have got it, one step above, above Los Angeles. So, I think you're in the right place.
That's sweet of you to say. The interesting thing about saying that you can't find a Texan anywhere else is that when we went up to Wisconsin for with G2B, Captain Jay and I, we decided we would go eat down at the bar, just to take in the local fare, talk to people who were also at the hotel that we were staying at, where the convention was going to be. And we sat on the corner because we thought, if we didn't like the people here, that's an easy place to back out. It's a good strategic conversation place to be. And to our left and to our right were nothing but Texans. We all inhabited the corner of the bar.
Really?
Yes.
You all have the same idea.
Really? Yeah. Wow. Well, there you go. I mean, I've met a few here. I just haven't met many, but I'm sure there's somewhere. But I live in the thick of it. I live in Hollywood, a couple of streets down from, everything, the Chinese theater and, everything
nice.
that all the touristy spots. So, I'm probably not in the best place to find, authentic, the Aussies, the Texans, and, you have it's not called Hollywood for no reason. So this is what I'm surrounded with living where I am.
I think if you take Route 66 back to the desert, you can probably find some trailblazers.
Possibly.
Just on horses with whips.
Right. Wagons and such.
Now, you were talking about moving out and making sacrifices, and there was something that I heard, and I reference these guys all the time, but I really do like their stuff. Have you heard of the Game Grumps?
The Game Grumps? No, I have not.
They're a small network of Let's Players that actually live in LA, and one of them moved from Jersey to LA, and he said that one of the best pieces of advice that he ever got was if you're going to go to LA, you have to burn your ships. And what he meant by that was there were people who would come to the Americas, in the colonial days, and the captains would literally burn the sailing ships so that the guys wouldn't get freaked out and try to run back home.
Right.
So you have to kind of isolate yourself from any possibility of going back so that you don't have that safety net.
Yeah, and it kind of makes you deal with it, and you learn to love it in a as time passes.
Yeah. Was it that way for you?
I actually, when I came here, I knew that I wasn't going to be going back, and this was going to be a new home or a new start for me. So it really was a case of, yes, you really had no choice. You had to, I don't ever in my life start something, do something without it being successful. I don't, failure is not an option for me. So in essence, yes. I mean, without, without the burning and the fire there, I mean, yes, definitely that's the approach that I took, that I had to make this work, and there was no other way about it. And you do. When you have that mindset and that determination that it must work, you'll always find a way for it to work.
Yeah.
Well, and you're absolutely right. That's exactly what you got to do, and it's actually quite inspiring.
Yeah, it is. Actually.
This was a more heartfelt interview than I thought that we were going to have.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on the show, and thank you for helping us celebrate our 100th episode.
Oh, you're so very welcome. It was lovely to catch up with you guys again. Hopefully next time it'll be in person.
I'm sure it will be.
Absolutely. We look forward to it.
Yeah, likewise. All right, well, have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
High five.
With that process done, I don't know what to do with myself. I feel like this is moot. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's 100. Does that mean it's over? Like we don't talk?
Of course it's not over, because what you guys have been tuning in for is the same biting entertainment technology and commentary from around the internet of all time. But today, what we wanted to do, what we thought our modus operandi, the reason that we're here, is we wanted to have a bit of a retrospective on the show as a whole, in our journey, this 3-year journey from the ragtag handful, and literally handful. I believe there were 5 people on the first podcast.
No, actually, it's just me and you.
That is not true.
We invited Jay Jinx. He didn't show up till like episode 2.
You know, these kind of blatant inaccuracies is why I tried to take over.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I like them.
Well, I only know that because I was trying to prepare for our retrospective by listening to old episodes.
Yeah. So we want to talk a little bit about our journey, and it's funny bringing up the first episode because I remember exactly what we were talking about for the first episode.
Do you?
Yes, I do. Our first episode was we wanted to talk about a new show at the time, and it was Avengers Assemble. And I remember,
I remember that show.
I remember I was so nervous about being on a podcast and having to be entertaining, just off the cuff, that I probably prepared more for that episode than I ever have for any episode since. I watched 3 episodes of that show.
Okay, so let's figure out
talked about it for about
what's
10
different.
minutes.
What's different between that episode and the 99 episodes hence?
What happened was I realized that no one was going to prep. So I just learned what I could. If it interests me, it interests me, and if not, I allow other people's knowledge about it to surprise me. Because there was something really telling, and I believe it was Kerry Gordon. I think it was Kerry Gordon. Kerry, tweet us and tell me if I'm wrong. But he said that when you're podcasting, it's not about putting on a show for an audience. It's about inviting them into a conversation. Mm-hmm. And I think that when we don't know things, as long as at least one of us is knowledgeable about it, it's a nice thing to be able to have something explained to you on the air, because then it gets explained to everybody at home. So I'm a little less militant about that now.
Mm-hmm. I can kind of tell that because you do have this tendency just to kind of go off on your bullshit tangents to fill in that lack of knowledge, and that adds a little something extra that I've always liked whenever I'm listening to the WarPod.
On this show, if you're not learning something in a particular moment, you're getting entertained.
I thought you were going to have some sort of sexy rhyme. If you're not learning something, you're earning something, if you know what I mean.
I have no fucking clue what you mean. Oh, there's my fuck.
That's right, the podcast is...
There's no limit. There's no limit anymore. I can say fuck as many fucking times as I want. Anyway.
Is that an E next to the title? For explicit?
There is one on iTunes.
Okay, good. Let's abuse it.
Yeah. So, the first episode, what I was listening back to in the first episode is actually a lot of talk about DRM and Xbox One and the next generation of console games.
That was a huge issue at the time.
At the time, it was. And what caught me by surprise was that you said that Call of Duty Ghosts was looking like a really awesome launch title, and you were going to play it.
Correct.
And you did not play it.
Not at all.
Yeah.
But I am blood related to someone who did, and he says it's bad. So there's your review.
No, that makes perfect sense, because I think that's the point where I got off the Call of Duty train.
Really?
Because I had played Call of Duty since Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
That's where the series really took off into multiplayer. But after Ghosts, I just really lost touch with it, and I've never been back. So it makes sense. It makes sense that that's where you lost it.
What struck me about the marketing for Ghost is that it looked like it was going to be more story oriented.
Yeah.
And it's Modern Warfare where they got the Hollywood actor Seven Usual Suspects.
I'll never get it.
No. You're talking about Francis Underwood.
No, Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, he plays Francis Underwood in House of Cards.
Oh, okay.
They got him on Ghosts. They got him on Ghosts.
Okay, so that means that Ghosts is the one where you press Y to pay respects.
It was not Ghosts, was it? It was...
I thought it was Modern Warfare. Or, no.
It was like Future Warfare or something like that.
Future Soldier High Five.
I don't know.
Small Soldiers.
But I remember the promos with Kevin Spacey's character, and he did really well. He just, he played Kevin Spacey.
He just happened to be in a video game, in a funeral simulator, which we've played, and they're not exactly laugh riots.
Graveyard simulator.
Yeah.
Yes. But anyway, the more you talk about Kevin Spacey, the more I get excited about the new episode, the new season of House of Cards being released on Netflix.
I just watched the first episode last night with my mother. That was awkward because there was a guy jacking off in prison.
Sure.
Yeah, why not?
It happens. But no, I love that show though. I'm really looking forward to it. Anyway, what I was curious, Zach.
Oh, I did want to say one thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Since you mentioned the Graveyard Simulator, since we're looking back on past episodes, that was actually a Let's Play.
Yes,
and I've always said I really like it whenever you break into song. Once per episode.
Reading gravestones.
Reading gravestones was brilliant.
That was probably the best.
And you just kept going with it. I thought, is this going to end? Is this going to end badly? No, he ended it completely, and it sounded great. That was brilliant. I love that one.
Oh, thank you. That's just a song I know really well. It's kind of like there's a song that I sing my. You're gonna put that right back on the cake, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
Please don't.
There's a song I sing to my cat a lot. It's a weird sentence. It's a weird sentence for our 100th episode. No, there's a cat. There's a cat that I sing to my cat. There's a cat. There's a song that I sing to my cat all the time, and it's Clementine. And I'm really good at improvising with Clementine because I sing to my cat all the time in those particular stanzas.
Yeah.
And Reading Rainbow is one of those.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see.
I could teach a master's course on making up stupid crap for that song.
Well, one thing I wish, and I think we will be doing more of in the future, is more interviews. And there's been a lot of great interviews that we've done over the past. And I think one of our favorite interviews ever, and it wasn't just an interview, he was a guest on the show, was Richard Launius.
Richard Launius!
He DM'd himself into the episode because we were asking him to kind of improvise because this was during one of our other kind of skits that we were doing. It was the Death of Dim series. It was the first time we've experimented with doing little skits and stuff before and after the show.
That had to be... That was one of the most intimidating things because Richard Launius was a stranger. You actually contacted him.
Yes.
And you weren't going to be on the show. So I had to explain to him in a moment, hey, not only are you doing us a favor by being on our show for free, but now you need to write part of a skit with me right now.
And he did it flawlessly.
Yeah.
Nice. And his voice is awesome. It's a perfect DM voice, like Dungeon Master voice.
The interesting thing about him DMing is that it was formatted like a radio play, and characters in radio plays don't narrate themselves. But he did.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Our listeners might want to listen to this, so you might want to provide the link below for this one.
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was spectacular, and that was a great series, and we got some really good content from a lot of the guests we had at that time, and a lot of these people did really well with being just completely blindsided by the fact that they had to act like Justin Corbett from Comical Podcast. He was on one.
Yes.
And he was blindsided, and we made him into a librarian because he does a show about comics. And that was brilliant just for him. I loved it.
If you recall, the last episode in that arc was whenever I got onto the podcast for the first time. And Regrettably, this is the second time I've actually sat in the seat. But that was the last episode where you settled on this universe where there's Warlocks Tower and you're this huge media icon.
Yeah.
We really wrote ourselves into a corner. That's what happens.
But yeah, so technically, yes, this is being broadcast to you from an alternate universe, actually.
What just fell off of this?
A bunch of bull.
Probably your slobber.
Oh, there it is.
It's a plastic component.
It's a piece of the car.
One of my favorite things from Death of Dim was actually our buddy Broken Satellite, aka Matthew Rivas. Just because he had the best character.
Yeah,
because
he was like a machine, wasn't he?
He was the Broken Satellite. He was an AI system whose funky fresh beats could kill mortal men,
and they did.
Yeah,
but
he
killed
could,
me.
Yeah, and I'll never forget the last thing, and it almost broke me right in the, as we were ending it. I was like, "No, you don't understand. Your beats are too fresh. They'll kill us." He's like, "Well." Initiating blast beats.
He played so monotone. It was brilliant. Oh man, well,
you totally made that sound like Marvin.
Oh, the paranoid. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, because he's dead.
I'm gonna kill you now.
No,
because he's depressed. He's horribly
Marvin
depressed.
the Martian?
No,
Marvin the
paranoid android.
The android from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh, not a fan. Not in the slightest.
Have you seen it?
I saw 5 minutes.
I can't fire you now, damn it.
Yeah, you cannot fire me. No, I've told you this before, Zach. I've watched 5 minutes of that movie and I was done with it.
Which 5?
The first. I start movies at the beginning.
Here's the question I have to ask. How far could you get in 5 minutes of reading the book?
Not far. I don't think.
The first, okay.
I'm not really into it.
The first page of the book is golden.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's very different too.
Yeah.
The flow of the book is completely different from the movie.
It's okay. It's not really my thing.
You really should get into the book.
You said that about at least about Doctor Who as well.
At least the first book.
Maybe I'll read some words in it.
By the way, and I know that there is no format here. We're just kind of enjoying each other's company and celebrating the 100th episode. But there's something that I haven't got a chance to talk about because you won't watch Doctor Who, the Peter Capaldi season. Does it suck?
It's a little different.
I feel like it sucks.
I feel like he's still trying to find his footing.
That's not my problem. Is not Peter Capaldi. My problem is the writing.
The writing was a little rough. A lot of them really didn't make a whole lot of sense.
Okay,
but if you actually look at any given season of Doctor Who, it's at least a quarter to half crap.
Okay, but the thing is that they explain it very well. Usually, I'll give you an example from the episode where I stopped watching the Peter Capaldi season.
Okay.
It's the one where they have the 2-dimensional aliens that are coming from the second dimension and trying to come into the third.
Oh.
And the TARDIS becomes very small.
Yeah?
Okay, they kept babbling on about dimensional energy, which, as a fellow scientist and an engineer, doesn't exist.
Not really.
No, there's no such thing. There are dimensions, and they inhabit space-time where there's radial energy from several different sources.
Exactly, and that's what we know in reality about how the time vortex actually works. That's not possible.
But here's the thing, is that if they want to play around with something called dimensional energy, that's fine. But previous iterations would go out of their way to explain its source and how it works.
Mm-hmm.
In this, they just said it. They basically took 2 sci-fi words, mashed them together, and expected us to just swallow it.
Yeah, okay, that sounds like Doctor Who on a Tuesday.
No, it doesn't! No, it does not! Doctor Who explains itself.
Okay, Weeping Angels. How does that make any sense?
Which part?
The part that they are quantum locked, which is a reference to quantum particles and how we're able to, once we view their state, it's intrinsically changed by us viewing it.
Yes, so when we view, they lock.
Yes, but it's not supposed to be applied to traditional matter that way.
But it does for the angels. That's why he mentioned it.
It makes
it's on a macro
as much
scale.
sense as your 2-dimensional energies.
No, it doesn't, because they never explain it. They never explain how a dimension becomes an energy.
Okay, Doctor Who sucks. We get it.
Just the Peter Capaldi one, and it's not even Mr. Capaldi's fault.
Okay, great. Excellent.
All right, I'll
Put
buy
a stamp
that.
on that. All right.
I'll buy that.
But anyway, this is our 100th episode.
Yeah.
But no, this show, if you guys don't know, and I actually don't recommend anybody go back and listen from episode one.
We could actually point out specific episodes we recommend you don't go listen to.
You can start around episode 50. They're probably decent around that time. But episode 1 is a little rough, but it's not too bad. But it's not irrelevant. Like I said, we're talking about DRM stuff and all that other crap. But the whole thing started. I actually did not recall when I started the WarPod whether you were on the first episode or not, because I came up with the idea before we actually made that episode.
I'm almost certain I'm on the first episode.
You are. No, I can verify that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying I couldn't remember at first before I went back and looked. But the whole thing started with this idea. It was an extension of the physical location we had. We were brewing beer at the time.
Yeah, if you're new to the show, we used to be Warlocks Games and Beer, which is why all our URLs are that.
Yeah.
Because he was our brewmeister at the time.
Yeah. So we were brewing and all that kind of good stuff. And I wanted the podcast to be an extension of the brew pub. And it was funny. I didn't put a lot of thought into it because it made too much sense to actually invite you to be a part of it. Because we actually went to grade school together, and Zach's personality, I immediately thought of him because I thought we fit the energy I really wanted for the show. So I'm glad you said yes, and I'm glad you're still on the show. But it's been a lot of fun, and I hope we get another 100 episodes in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that was also at the time that I was starting Zachnanimous.
But I didn't know that. You actually thought that I contacted you because I knew you were doing that. I had no idea you were doing that.
That's not true.
I had no clue.
He was trying to synergize.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
Let's just agree that it was a happy mistake that worked out for everyone involved.
This whole thing has been a mistake.
This is a Saturday.
So it was
I should be outside.
It's actually a nice day outside, too.
Yeah, it's beautiful. We watched the sunset through his
Stop
window.
watching us. Go outside.
Whenever you're watching this, the sunset's out there. Sunset's always setting somewhere.
Yes, always.
No, that's true.
Where are we on time?
We're just about done.
We're just about done?
Yeah, we're done.
Okay. So before we sign off, I would like to just thank everybody who has been part of this journey. You know, whether you were able to call into the hotline or we weren't able to get a hold of you, or maybe we were trying not to pester you because of con seasons coming up and stuff like that. We just want to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts to everybody who has made this journey not only possible, but great. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
See you tomorrow.
Yes.
Marlon.
Yes.
Say a few words about the 100th episode for the WarPod.
Okay.
Marlon.
Yeah.
Get out.
Okay.
Marlon, say something about the WarPod.
Okay. I haven't watched it since episode 2.
Marlon.
Yes.
What about the WarPod? No, say something positive. It's our anniversary.
Is that a weapon? I was taking a pee. 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 I was taking a pee.